why he voted against them. Because they don't want to fix this problem, because it benefits them. It benefits them not to fix it. Party before country. It's very good he's standing in for the member for Clacton, I have to say. There was no sign of him yesterday at the EU. So he was the first through the E-gates somewhere to south of France.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gather around the digital campfire, because today, today, we have a right Westminster whodunit. Or should I say, who deported it? Courtesy of none other than the King of Cannander himself, Lee No-Nonsense Anderson. Now, if you've ever thought Prime Minister's questions were dull, dusty affairs full of dreary drone and powdered protocol, think again. Today, we were treated to a spectacularly British display of rhetorical wrestling. Picture a Yorkshireman with a verbal cricket bat going to town on Sir Keir Starmer's spin bowling of statistics and smokescreens. Before we show you the video footage, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Which fell to only 1 in 10 assessments under the last government.
The answer. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, keeps telling his gullible backbenchers, those over there, that he's deported 24,000 people from this country since he came into power. But he won't say who these people are. Now, it's my guess that they are people that came on work visas, students, and they are simply overstayers. But I'm willing, Mr. Speaker, to be proved wrong if you can answer one simple question. How many of these people that he's deported are failed asylum seekers that's come on small boats or on the back of lorries? Answer the question.
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm very proud that we've removed over 24,000 people. That's the highest record for nearly 10 years. We're taking other measures to get back control of our borders, including the Borders Bill, which gives our law enforcement enhanced powers, including terrorism-like powers. What did his party do? What did he do? He voted against them. And I'll tell you why he voted against them. Because they don't want to fix this problem. Because it benefits them. It benefits them not to fix it. Party before country. It's very good he's standing in for the member for Clacton, I have to say. There was no sign of him yesterday at the EU. So he was the first through the E-gates somewhere to south of France. Nice work if you can get it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the Prime Minister agree that imprisoning Lucy Connolly, a young mother with a 12-year-old daughter, for one foolish social media post, soon deleted, is clearly not an efficient or fair use of prison?
Mr. Speaker, sentencing is a matter for our courts, and I celebrate the fact that we have independent courts in this country. I am strongly in favour of free speech. We've had free speech in this country for a very long time, and we protect it fiercely. But I'm equally against incitement to violence against other people. And I will always support the action taken by our police and courts to keep our streets and
right
people
from the
safe.
off, Lee Anderson stood up like a man who just walked out of a pub brawl, pint in hand, ready to settle the score. Not with fists, mind you, but with facts, or at least the desperate demand for some. He puffed up, looked across the chamber with the confidence of a man who eats policy papers for breakfast, and asked a question so simple even a hungover fox in the House of Lords could answer it. Mr. Prime Minister, you've deported 24,000 people, have you? Well, then, who exactly are these mystery folks you've yetated across the channel? Only he said it with more parliamentary flair, of course. And here comes the twist. Instead of a clear answer, what did we get? A Starmer special, a long-winded cruise through the land of deflection, complete with smug stats, passive-aggressive pride, and a sprinkle of continental name-dropping. We've deported 24,000 people. It's the highest in nearly 10 years, he boomed, like a quizmaster who just remembered the answer to a question no one asked. But Lee wasn't buying it. Oh no. He wanted names. He wanted numbers. He wanted to know if those deported folks were actually illegal asylum seekers off small boats, or just Barry, the postgraduate from Bristol who forgot to renew his student visa. Answer the question. Lee cried like a furious headmaster whose student had just turned in an essay titled Why Homework is Oppression. But Keir, well, he put on his best head boy of the Remainers voice and turned it into a Shakespearean soliloquy about law enforcement, enhanced powers, and, wait for it, terrorism-like powers. That's right, folks, somewhere between deportation stats and border control, we entered Mission Impossible. Immigration Edition. But it wasn't over. No, sir. Not content with one detour, Kay veered off course faster than a sat-nav in a thunderstorm. He launched into a bizarre side quest, accusing Lee's lot of voting against the very laws they now cried for, as though he himself hadn't just dodged the question like a Tesco shopper dodging surveyors. It benefits them not to fix this problem. Keir thundered, eyes ablaze, arms flailing like a startled librarian. Party before country, he bellowed, while forgetting he was standing there avoiding a direct answer like a kid asked if they've done their chores. And just when you thought it couldn't get more surreal, in came Robert L., a man with a name so posh it sounds like it should be served with chutney. Robert had a different beef to grill. Prison time for a young mom who posted something daft online. Surely, he said, this isn't the best use of prison space, is it? A fair question. And Keir, well, back into the politician's toolbox he dove, emerging with a gleaming wrench labeled neutrality. That's a matter for the courts, he proclaimed, as if the phrase hadn't been tattooed across every politician's wrist since 1802. He told us with great pride that Britain loves free speech, but not too free. Thank you very much. Free-ish. Free with limits. Free, but not the kind that ends with memes and 12-year-olds reading court transcripts. We protect free speech fiercely, he said, face full of conviction. But also, we support the police locking people up for saying naughty things, as long as, of course, it's under the ever-flexible umbrella of public safety. Back in Lee Anderson's corner, you could almost hear the internal monologue. So, we're locking up moms for bad tweets but letting question dodgers run the show. Splendid. The sheer theater of it all was enough to make Shakespeare rise from the grave and offer to write PMQs as a tragic comedy. You see, dear viewer, this wasn't just any old political exchange. This was the rhetorical equivalent of trying to have a straight conversation with someone who insists on replying in riddles, and then blaming you for not understanding. Lee asked a question as sharp as a barber's blade. Keir answered with the sort of oblique, evasive sermon that could have come from a fortune cookie printed by MI5, and let's not forget the crescendo, the crowd. Oh, the roar of the Commons. Somewhere between cheers, jeers, and the traditional hear, he ear, that echoes across the green benches. Like a school assembly gone rogue, we saw something truly magical, British democracy in all its awkward, chaotic, tea-fueled glory. What did we learn? Well, apparently, if you deport 24,000 people but won't say who they are, it's a win. And if you ask who they are, you're clearly doing it for political reasons. And if someone in your party goes on holiday, well, that's probably a national security issue. Its logic so watertight it could float across the channel with or without a visa. Oh, there you have it, folks. Another week, another masterclass in answering questions with questions, dodging stats like dodgeballs, and using courtroom jargon to sound extremely serious while saying absolutely nothing. Lee Anderson brought the spice. Keir Starmer brought the sauce. And in the end, the viewers at home were left with a big old plate of reheated rhetoric, served cold with a side of smirk. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to check if my deportation notice has arrived. I did once overstay at a Travelodge in Blackpool. If that counts, we might just have to make it 24001.Tara for now. And remember, in politics, as in comedy, timing is everything. And nothing beats a Yorkshireman with a mission and a microphone. Cheerio.